What's up, it's DJ Payne, and it's my birthday week. I'm getting super old, so we're not going to talk about that. I just thought I'd mention it. Recently, a track got leaked out called Big Money Talk. It was first leaked, I want to say by Trapaholics, maybe the Empire, one of the two, I'm not sure who, and it was listed as a 2 Chainz song featuring Yo Gotti, and then maybe a day later this Lil Chucky version came out where it was Lil Chucky, it was 2 Chainz, Lil Chucky, then Yo Gotti, and that's the correct version, so it's all over the internet. It's gotten a really good response. It's one of my favorite songs. Oh yeah, by the way, I produced it. It's one of my favorite Lil Chucky songs. I'm not just saying that because I made the beat, but it's gotten a good response. Shout out to On Smash, shout out to allhiphop.com, shout out to Hot New Hip Hop, Young Money HQ, every other blog that supported that record. Shout out to the radio stations that are playing it, because there have been some spins counted on that song. And so yes, the original is the Lil Chucky version. I can prove it because I'm one of the few people, I'm one of like 2 people who actually has the session aside from the engineer, if you're curious.
Big money, big money, big money.
I got all the acapellas.
Can't slow me down, I'm already served up. When you think of me, think exclusivity. If I ain't the first one.
This is my town. If I your own pot the percent, young James Bond. When I would hear sounds, I was running around here thugging.
Since it's gotten such a good response, I'm sure there are some people listening in wondering how the beat was made, because sometimes it's helpful to demystify the process and explain not necessarily how it was made, but the kind of work that went into it. So I'm just gonna let you know, it's not gonna be a tutorial. I just want to kind of talk you through how I made the beat. This track actually started as an idea when I heard that Players Circle song. And I was looking for an acapella, and I don't think one exists. So what I did was J-Rock, J Diamonds, J whatever his name is nowadays, J Diamonds with 2 Z's, shout out to him, was at my house recording. It was a long day, a long session, and before he left I was like, hey, I need a favor from you, because he has a good voice. So I said, I need you to say something. So this is what he said.
Big money talk, let that little money walk.
Added the Sony, just the stock pitch shift plugin, set the preserve duration to on, and then set the mode to A07 speech 1. This is what I got.
Big money talk, let that little money walk.
And then from there I just started building a beat. The foundation was, let me see, it looks like, this was an old beat. This is maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. The foundation was Nexus, it looks like. So if you got the Nexus plugin, it's just an arpeggio in Nexus. But it's kind of subtle, it's pulled back in the mix. For that low lead, I used a sound called Hollow Man. I actually layered 4 different sounds using Hypersonic. And it looks like I used all 16 channels of Hypersonic. Yep, sure did. So all the Hypersonic instruments are just layers on layers on layers. This is what they sound like. So if you listen to the track, all the low leads that you hear and all the horns that you hear are all Hypersonic instruments. So if you're looking for a synth that has pretty much every sound that you could possibly need, and you haven't checked out Hypersonic yet, check out Hypersonic version 2. I think maybe they have a newer one. I have version 2. I used Colossus, but just for the tubular bell sound, which doesn't seem worth it because it's an expensive synth. And you can get the free tubular bell sound if you go on to my video about, I'll put a link in the info, about getting free, what do they call it, sound fonts. And the free sound font player, you can get a lot of these sounds. You can get a lot of these leads, a lot of these horns, and it's all free, it's all legal. So I recommend doing that. The other sound I used was Trilogy. This was the bass line. And that was all just played via keyboard. And everything else was just a lot of layering of drums, different types of drums that I found here and there. Under the bass line, I put some 808s in. And 808s, if you've dealt with tuning 808s, they're really hard. So I'm also putting in the info a link to a free VST called ERS Drums, and my little review of it is great. I've been using it ever since. This beat is one that I made before I got the plugin, otherwise I would have used it on here. It's a VST that allows you to play the 808 kicks, but you know, mapped out to keys, so it's just like any other VST that you would get. And that's basically it. I updated it a lot of the drum programming I think is what's complicated, and I'll try to get into some of that in some later videos on how to create these, you know, the triplets and the drum rolls and all that. It's pretty easy. It's just a matter of getting acclimated to that type of rhythmic programming using the Acid Grid, because I don't punch any drums out on an MPC. I don't punch them out on the ASR. I don't punch them out on my pads, nothing like that. So I'm going to try to make some videos about that in the future, since a lot of people seem to be asking for it. I'm going to upload the instrumental version of this song pretty soon, and otherwise just stay tuned. More tutorials, more free loops, so on and so forth. I got 3 jobs and I'm in grad school, and I play shows. I actually have a show in 3 hours, so I try to put as much stuff out as possible. Appreciate you watching. Peace.